already been tarnished in my opinion.
Media is losing a lot of credibility, and like
we're treating him like he's like a weapon of mass destruction at the moment. Like he's literally here to play tennis.
This ain't a milli rock, this a money dance, and my dick ain't hard, that's a 30 in my pants. I got 30 of them bands, I'ma make a script of dance, and I'ma fuck a nigga bitch, cause he nerdy, she a fan. The molly either white or it's yellow like some sand. If you need it, hit my line, no, I got it on a man. I see cotton thizzle Zans, that's what made me all these bands, nigga.
Boys, episode 8, No Boundaries. We're back at it. How we doing, lads? It's good to get back on the mics with you guys and chew the fat again.
Well, I'll start. I mean, I'm just quarantining in Sydney at the moment. Obviously, it was pretty big news that I tested positive literally an hour before walking down the elevator to go play Fognini. I got my PCR test back positive. So I'm actually out in Dural, Matt Reid's house. So I've just been here for the last 5 days. Not ideal preparation, but I've had a tennis court rebound days. It's not really high sense. It's not really John Cain Arena, but it's a tennis court. So yeah.
That's the training that you've been able to get done during this little isolation period, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Just out on court whenever I can. And, not much of a gym, no physio, but, it is what it is at the moment. But I'm still feeling pretty good.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Frawls, how you been, brother?
Yeah, good man. Just coaching in Canberra, getting ready to come meet the boys in Melbourne when Kiggs gets cleared. So
yeah, we got a lot planned for AO coming up. Obviously, seeing Kiggs succeed on the courts definitely of paramount importance. And obviously what everyone's looking forward to. But yeah, Frawls, let's kind of kick things off. Obviously, we've had some big kind of announcements that we've been waiting for today. Obviously, not just ourselves or the Australian media, but like the world as such, isn't it?
Yeah, huge topic at the moment. Like obviously breaking news from a few hours ago, like the decision from Alex Hawke to cancel Novak's visa and deport him. So yeah, we thought we'd definitely jump back on and update you all on what exactly has been happening and give our opinions again. So
yeah. So we're looking at now, like, because he's the Minister of Immigration. Is that right? Factually?
Yeah.
So he had
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'd like to think so. But yeah, so Hawke, he had the emergency powers and stuff like that. But he's been waiting to exercise, this power a little bit. I mean, I feel like we've been waiting a while for this kind of decision to come through. Obviously, there's so many hula hoops to jump through, and something like this, it's never going to be easy, is it? But obviously now it's just pending another trial. So boys, let's throw it over to Kiggs real quick. Obviously you're competing yourself. What if we're looking like this is final, obviously, what's that going to mean, bro? Like, obviously we've been around tennis, our whole lives, but what are you feeling from that with, Novak being potentially out?
Well, I mean, let me just start from a tennis standpoint. It's a big loss. Obviously, I feel like this Australian Open will already be tarnished with all this sort of all this sort of media and all this bad media around the Australian Open. Like, it's already been tarnished, in my opinion. I feel like everyone's just going to be remembered this Australian Open as kind of like the Novak saga. And I feel like it's just been it's just a shit show now. Like, it's just, I'm waking up and we're just literally reading the media and it's just something new every day. I feel like we're just trying to find things now that aren't right or this and that. It's not even about the vaccination anymore. It's just about him, not being here on the right visa or his visa getting cancelled. Then I feel like if it's not that, it's something else. So, I just think it's crazy. Like, I feel so sorry for him. Like, preparing for an Australian Open or any Grand Slam is enough for someone. And it's the pressures that he have, I think, so unique. Like, he's going for 21 slams, being Novak Djokovic, preparing is already enough. And I feel like dealing with the media and then already having a court case, winning that, like, he showed all his information, winning the initial court case, and now getting detained again from that, still trying to practice, still trying to prepare, and then now his visa's cancelled. So it's just like, it's an absolute shit show, in my opinion. Like, I think we've just completely missed, like, how we deal with this stuff is just so embarrassing, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've all been talking heaps off video, off camera. you know, about this kind of thing. Obviously, much like everyone around the world, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I the misinformation that was put. That's you know, that's on the I guess that's the reason why he's being you know, deported, you know, in that sense, or having his visa cancelled. I just hope that it's not like COVID. Like, I hope people that, you know, don't just keep being like, oh, it's the vaccination reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, and keep harping on that point, because I feel like that's a different kind of debate as such. Like, for me,
what was the initial issue? The initial issue was him not being vaccinated and not what was the initial issue? Like, I've just forgotten about what the initial issue was at the moment.
So a lot of it,
like, what was it?
Well, one of the reasons was because his previous places he'd been to, apparently they made a mistake. They didn't put down that he was actually in Spain.
Okay.
So but his manager did that. So like that was one of the reasons that they wanted to cancel it.
Yeah.
But
well, the medical exemption that like kind of people were saying, like,
medical exemption. Yeah,
he doesn't deserve the medical exemption because, like, you know, he should be vaccinated, and that kind of like stemmed, I think, like the public. Yeah, I was
I was
just going to say, I really just hope that, like, with, you know, with Novak, where Novak's at now, it's just, you know, working out if they can still keep him, or somehow he can fight that to keep him here in Australia, obviously to play Australian Open, based off of the visa information. Like, that to me is where, like, I'm okay with it, like, being at. But as long as it's not like, you know, people just blasting him for the sake of the health exemption, and like him being not safe to be in Australia and like risking people's health, like, to me, like, I don't see it, like, for that.
We spoke about it today. Like, so I think a quote from who's the guy that cancelled his visa now?
Hawk. Alex Hawk.
Yeah.
This Hawk guy's like, oh, he's a threat to our borders. And I'm just like, well, no, he's not. We're treating him like he's like a weapon of mass destruction at the moment. Like, he's literally here to play tennis, to give I think the mistreating of the people of Melbourne over the last, would say, 2 years has been atrocious. And I feel like I understand their anger towards him being not vaccinated and having the medical exemption. I understand that side, but we've already spoken at face value. You just say, okay, he's done what he's needed to do. He's got his paperwork. He's okay to be here. Now I feel like the people are just literally just all their anger, no matter what Novak does or for what reason he's back in court, they're just going to say, get him out of our country. Like, it's just like, he's not doing anything to anyone. Like, he just wants to come here, play the Australian Open. And I think it's very important for him to be here and play the Australian Open for the people. Like, we want sport. I spoke to Babs about this earlier, and I think it's such a good point. Like, sport brings people together through times of, you know, like through struggle, like from what we're all going through. We're all looking forward to like the Melbourne Cup, having that back, like the Australian Open, having that back. And now sport brings people together. Now it's just, the media has just ruined, I think, in my opinion, borderline ruined the Australian Open, divided everyone. And it's not what sport's meant to do. It's meant to bring people together. Fans from around the world are supposed to be competing with one another, but having fun at the end of the day. Now you've got people rioting in Serbia, and it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, for example,
sport's about bringing people together, no matter what color you are, no matter what race, no matter what size. You play, you compete. At the end of the day, you shake each other's hands and say, well fucking done. Like, you're an absolute champion. And then you go off. And now it's just, it's a joke.
Sure, you've got people like sitting at courthouses and
it's like, what the fuck
the
are we doing?
Hotel staking out just to see if like they can actually, you know, somehow help that obviously their favorite tennis player to stay in the country to compete for a slam that he's been competing at for the last 15 odd years or something, you know, like it's
like I understand people are angry. Like, we understand that. And we understand that, yes, letting some people in the country was always going to bring up some sort of argument. But like, sport, this was supposed to be a special time for people in Melbourne. Like, Australian Open's back on now. It's 50% crowd capacity. Novak's not going to be here. Roger's not here. It's like, what is our, like, I don't know, like, government or the rules actually doing for the sport now? Like, it's not bringing people together. It's not. It's
yeah. What do you reckon, Frawls?
It's crazy.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like, my first question is like, why did the government give him the clearance? And then like when he got here, like, obviously they changed their mind and there was an issue. And then the second time was, so he won the court case.
Yep.
Sorry,
That was
I'll
over
fuck
the
this up.
health
Hang on.
exemption. That was over the health exemption, though, Frawls. He won the initial court case. That was over the health exemptions that TA had,
Not even just TA, bro. It wasn't TA. It was 2 other individual health organizations.
Sure, correct. But that's what the court case was about, though, initially.
Yeah, but like one of the main reasons he was cleared is because he wasn't given enough time during the interview, right?
Correct.
That was one of the main reasons he won.
Yeah.
And then for the second time, like they waited again until the draw had been done. And then after that, they canceled the visa. Like this politicians come out and cancel the visa. So it's like, why did they wait at both opportunities when they could have like made their stand earlier? That's what personally I feel. But from the other side, from Novak's side, like I can understand like, yes, it was a mistake. Like he filled it out wrong. And also like him being positive to COVID in Serbia, doing that interview or whatever, like that's not the best look, but
no. Well, like, I mean, he's made a mistake there. Like we don't honestly, I mean, going too deep onto that, like, with the interview or the shoot, or, who he's gone to see, that's a mistake. He's dropped the ball there for sure.
Yeah.
I think he knows that for sure. But, and I think he's come out and apologized for it. So,
yeah.
But the factual thing is like, yes. Okay. So you put the wrong information there. But I feel like why I know Wednesday, I think his lawyers input a few more pieces of documents. So I don't know if over the last 2 days, you've got people obviously sifting through that and finding out what they can and, what is usable and not usable. But I just feel like we've taken so long, as a, government to decide whether or not this guy is going to be able to play the Australian Open. Like, why has it taken so long to decide that? I feel like we've made it. Sorry, just to add one more thing is like we've made quicker decisions on bigger things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the media's put so much pressure.
Too. Like he would appreciate that. He this is like mental, like health type shit now. Like imagine how drained and how stressed his family would be. Like it's just like a fucking joke, man. Like either tell the guy to get out or like you're in our country now. He's been here preparing. Like let him play. And then he'll leave anyway. As soon as Australian Open's done, he'll leave.
Like, I mean, it's not a big it's torture.
Yeah, to be honest, like I was actually going for Novak, obviously behind Kiggs. Like obviously I want Kiggs to get the W, but like behind Kiggs, I was going for Novak after all this, to be honest.
I honestly want him to fucking win the event. I think it'd be fucking awesome, bro.
What
I want to walk around. I want to walk around fucking Melbourne Park with my fucking Edemore shirt. You already know that. Like I want to walk around with like Novak's mask on my face. I just think if Australia as a whole dealt with COVID better. And I spoke to Babs as well. Like I said, if the people of Melbourne didn't get so fucked over with everything in these fucking rules, I don't think this would be such a big issue. And not as big as it is now. Like this is insane now.
Yeah, it's got to that point, hasn't it?
Period. And like it pisses me off. Like it actually pisses me off. Like how Tsitsipas and Nadal and stuff like are all obviously everyone's got their opinion. And that's fine. Like I understand that Nadal, Tsitsipas all have to speak out about it when they get asked. But like Basil's right. Like I feel like we're only treating him like Novak Djokovic, not like a human now. Like imagine how he's feeling. Like he probably just wants a little bit of support now from other players. Like, he's getting it from me. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I don't even think we're treating him like Novak Djokovic though right now. And that's what I was saying. Like the treatment needed to be heavily different. You can't, I don't know, like obviously he's not, like I've said in the first episode, he's not above the law. He's not above what, like, obviously he's a different person compared to the average citizen. Like, he does, his occupation is different, right? That's just simply put, but he's obviously not above the law and he's not above any other human, right? But I just think the way that we handled him from the get-go is as if he's like a criminal. That's the issue I had, and I'm not so heavily for pro Novak or against Novak, but I just think like how can you be treating a guy like that who does what he does obviously plays for himself, but he plays for many people, his country, represents Davis Cup, obviously. How can you be treating someone like this?
Expanding on that, I just like he's here. People think he's like selfishly here, like he literally is playing tennis at the highest level for the fans and for millions of people around the world. Like, yes, okay, he's chasing his legacy, he's chasing all this and that, but like, he's just not here for himself. Like, he's actually here to, like, people are just like, oh, he's got like no fucking right to be here. I'm like, bro, he's playing, he's trying to put on a show for you guys to like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I understand. Yeah.
as an athlete who genuinely just wants to go out there and give people a show, and I couldn't really care whether I win or lose. Like, yes, obviously I want to win, but if I lose and I fucking, like against team last year, bro, if I lose 4 in the 5th after like fucking 4 hours and it's a mad show, like that's why I play. And I feel like Novak is a big part of that. Like, he wants to go out there and play in front of the fans and give them a good show.
I agree. But
like, it's just I just feel like these athletes, like, give him some support. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure if Nadal in this, you know, if he was in a similar situation, he'd be looking towards his other fellow athletes to be like, stand up for me, like, help me. You know what I mean?
Well, I have said that. I said that to you off the camera. I was just kind of saying, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm a bit surprised that like certain players, I'm not going to name them and throw them under the bus or anything, but a bit surprised certain players haven't kind of ran to his aid a little bit. I mean, I'm sure Novak could be sitting there kind of being like, you know, who are my allies here? Who are my, you know, my mates on tour? If I were him, it'd be a really lonely ordeal, wouldn't it? I mean, like you said, I never thought I would have, never thought, sorry to finish off, like you said to you, never thought I would have found, you know, an ally in you. Obviously it's public, but you guys haven't always seen eye to eye. And, you know, you're someone who stands up for what they believe in. And you know this to be wrong, like we've all kind of said. And I think a lot of people know that, like, the treatment of him, I don't think has been right. I'm just surprised some other players haven't maybe rushed to his defense. I mean, for example, just to bring in a couple of comments, it was like Tsitsipas today, obviously, in the media, a couple of articles that, you know, have had him listed saying stuff like, you know, Novak's almost making vaccinated stars look like fools. And, you know, Novak's almost playing by his own rules on tour. You know, that's Tsitsipas's take.
Tsitsipas said that?
That's Tsitsipas's take on it. Obviously, you know, Nadal said what he said. We said that in the other episode. And then Murray, who we love plenty here, was just kind of coming out saying, you know, that definitely needs to be some more answers given to the questions being asked. So, you know, I don't know. I was a bit surprised that some players hadn't really been rushing to his defense, obviously being world number one and does so much for the sport, I guess, in that sense. But
well, this is no boundaries, yeah? So for the people who don't know, like, for instance, Novak has reached out to me personally over Instagram saying thank you for, you know, standing up for me. I was not the one that he was expecting to go out in the media and have his back. Like, that's what I mean. Like, as a human, like, he's obviously feeling quite, I think, alienated in all of this. And as a human, that's a dangerous place to feel like when you feel like the world's against you, you can't do anything right. And all he wants to do is just come and play tennis. Like, I've just think at a human level, he needs some support from other tennis players. And like, yeah, like Tsitsipas, we understand, all right, you have your views on your fucking vaccination. Like, Murray, oh, thanks. Like, you know, we always can count on you to say the right thing, yeah? And like Nadal, whatever. But like, bro, where's your support for the guy? Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's just like.
No, I agree.
Yeah, well, I think like one of the main reasons this is being cancelled is due to health. Like, I mean, in Australia and in the world, like, we've got record cases, like thousands and thousands of cases. Like, I don't know, just taking a step back, like, it's just like one guy's unvaccinated. Like, what is that doing? Like, I don't know. Like, that's just my opinion.
That's my point.
I feel like we've lost a bit of common sense there. Like, you got so many people that are COVID positive. And like, everyone's worried. Everyone's trying to blame Novak. Like, what's it got to do with Novak? Like, I get it.
Bro, and they let the fucking restrictions in Sydney down when I was there. Like, it's like they're so anal about this, but then like the rest of the public now in Sydney or Melbourne are just walking around fucking positive, and you don't have to do. Like, it's just a fucking shit show now. It's like, well, are we going to be anal about it how we were for the last 2 years and then let all our rules sort of just like, you know, relax? And then when Novak comes, it's a fucking big issue again. It's just like, well, what's going on here now?
As long as it's not, as long as it, like, that's what I'm saying, like, for me, because, like, you know, obviously 97% of Victorians, I think that the statistic is, give or take, some percentage there, a double dose vaccination. But yeah, I think the transmission rate is like I don't know.
Yeah, it's so high.
It's so high. So it's like, well, you know,
Yeah.
he's not really a threat. And that's where, you know, I was kind of saying, I hope it's just like, I hope it's only based around the visa, not the COVID threat. Because like we already have enough threat anyway, and it's definitely not coming from Novak. Like me personally, that's my opinion, obviously.
And like
also,
the whole
like,
thing, the whole thing about being vaxxed is like you're protecting yourself. So like, why should I be so worried about one guy who's unvaccinated? Like, isn't that his problem? Like, shouldn't he be worried? I don't know.
Sure, yeah, because I think the biggest, the people that are struggling the most with Omicron right now, are those that are unvaccinated. Now, but the transmission rate, like, I think Novak should be worried about getting it off us, since we're all double vax. You know, we were some of the first to get it. So, man, I mean, I'm just a bit surprised with some of the players on that little part of it. You know, I just think. Just myself being involved in tennis my whole life, like all of us have been, I was just a bit disappointed with some players maybe not voicing enough in defense, or, you know, some players not coming to Novak's aid, I think, and just offering some sort of you don't have to come out and just be like, oh yeah, I'm pro Novak everything, but maybe just throw him some support.
Yeah, but the media will just ultimately just fuck it all up anyway, bro. Like, it's just like they just have so much control, and they couldn't, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
someone could say something nice about him and then it not even be aired. Like, that's how the media just works. Like, they just want to like make things such a shitstorm. Like, and I spoke to you, Babs. Like, I've been getting messages. Obviously, when I went out and initially stood up for the guy, like, I was getting fucking millions of hate messages, or like people saying, "How could you be standing up for him?" Like, I couldn't even come into the country to see like my passing of my family member for funerals and stuff. And I'm like, I understand that. Like, I understand that it's not easy to abide by some of these rules. Like, it's fucked. Like, I've had to watch a funeral in Malaysia over fucking Zoom and shit. Like, I can only imagine how many families have not said goodbye to their, you know, family members one last time because of all these fucking rules.
I think the thing is, like, the vax rate like had to be 70% for us to go back to normal. Then it was 80%. Then it was 90%. Like,
what are these fucking rules?
I just feel like when are we just going to go back to normal and treat it like a common cold or flu?
People just got to fucking stand up.
When's that going to happen?
Like, enough's enough. And none of these boosters, none of these anything. Just fucking, I said, we're going to have to live with it. Masks, fucking wash your hands, like social distance as much as you can. But like, fuck, man, how many more boosters do we need? Or how many more boosters are we going to take until it's just like, enough's enough, bro? Like, all right, we get it.
We'll come back to the booster part. That's a little later, I think. But you know, just in terms of the treatment of Novak, just the last thing I just wanted to bring up. Saw an article headline. It was like, Novak could face jail time over this like incident, right? And I'm like, are we really here at a point where we're talking about Novak Djokovic, right? Grand Slam champion. I mean, we've all done things wrong in our lives at some point. But are we really saying that like a guy like that is going to be heading to jail over this visa thing? Like, come on.
Well, how do you feel? Like, let's. How do you guys feel? Like, have this whole, like, your initial feeling as an Australian, like, and we've all been heavily involved with tennis. Like, how do you feel like about it? I just feel like I feel a bit embarrassed. Like, when someone asks me about it, I feel embarrassed. Like, I'm just like, it's shit. Like, surely you don't feel good about it. Like, you're not proud to be Australian during this time. Surely not. You're just not. I'm not.
No, I mean, you go Frawls, I'll go after you.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Like, I can understand like the outcry of people who've been in lockdown for so long, but I don't think blaming Novak's going to help anything. Like, to be honest, like, no, it's not the person we should be taking our anger out on.
It's not.
And I think
how much he's done for COVID.
Such strict, yeah, for sure.
Like, he's fucking bought machines to help with breathing, like in hospitals. Like, he's literally gone out of his way to help with COVID. And I'm not saying like, yeah, he's a saint, but like, fuck, man. Like, it's just, I feel a bit embarrassed, to be honest.
No, I agree. Keep going, Frawls. I was listening to that.
Yeah, I was saying, like, you know, we've had the strict lockdowns. We've done the vaccination rates. Like, I don't think it's reasonable to have like 100% vaccination rate. Like, it's probably not possible. So like, we've just got to go back to normal. I think, like, that's my opinion. For us too, going to other countries to play tournaments, like
I don't feel
you
safe
know,
in Serbia. Like, you know, as an Australian tennis player, I mean, I'd feel like maybe like, oh, like since we treated him so badly in our country, like how are they going to treat me? Do you know what I mean? Like that could definitely be like a situation where it's like, you know, Australians are a little bit like hesitant to maybe go there because of how badly our government treated him or are treating him, you know, still currently. But I just think we're like heavily gaslighting Novak. And, you know, we're almost just like we've been saying, like wrongfully targeting him with our frustrations of, you know, how we've been, you know, suppressed in certain ways over the last six to, you know, 12,
well,
18
let me get you
months.
a quote. I'll give you a quote directly from Novak here, yeah?
Yeah.
And you can see how he feels.
Yeah.
He goes, trying to actually understand the situation and have a bit of objectivity rather than fire all bullets right away. I appreciate that. Thank you. So he's not even asking for like, he's just asking for a bit of understanding. That's literally what he's saying. And now you're right. It's just an outburst from the Australian public of just amplified all this, just attacked all cylinders on one target. And now he's copping it all.
It's just spiraled out of control down an avalanche. And we're looking at, you know, the biggest thing ever. And you're sitting here, like I'm reading a headline. Novak's going to, you know, might face jail time. It's like, what? Like what? I don't know. To me, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That kind of stuff shouldn't be said. And like I said, he's not above the law, but I feel like we should be giving him give him benefit of the doubt kind of thing, you know? Like he's not a past.
There's no need to give him a benefit of the doubt anymore. Like he's shown what he's shown. Like it's just like, it's just us now. Like it's not, he's not even arguing, bro. Like he's just like, he doesn't even know what to do anymore. Like, I feel like he's just like, oh, okay, bro, your visa's cancelled now. All right, back to court. All right, you won that case. You get fucking 4 days to prepare. Oh, no, cancelled now. Back to court. Yeah. I'm just like, well, fucking leave. Either send him off or let him stay. Like, can't be doing this to someone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't drag it out like they're doing. For sure, it makes it difficult.
Heavily. And then headlines are just anything, reads anything basically at this point. I'm like, what's next?
Let's move on and talk about our fucking great media fucking outlets, like of them fucking up. And
100% Kiggs. You know, you lead that one, brother. Lead the.
Well, I just feel like it's just like,
brother.
Like, what a joke that is, yeah. Like, and then so I don't know for the people. I'm pretty sure you all know that listen. Like, two people just on a news. What news outlets was it? 7 News.
It was Channel 7.
Channel 7, and then obviously off air, they've been seen like, you know, saying their open opinions, and it's just like, fuck, that pisses me off. Like, yeah, I fucking hate that, and the fact that they're being celebrated and like not celebrated, but celebrated in a way like there's articles saying, oh, that's such great honesty, like they should have their own show and stuff. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, that
I'm like
celebrating him and her.
And I'm just like, first of all, you're reporters, like you're paid to fucking present news that you're told to present. So it's just so bad, man. Like, it makes me so angry seeing that.
It made me extremely embarrassed that in our country we were, you know, we had segments like, not even a segment, an on air, but they thought they were off air conversation. And then like, I didn't really read too much about it. Like there was nothing that was kind of being said. They were being celebrated with like, you know, our Tuesday news had never had more ratings than it had because of these guys. And I was like, dude, like that happens nowhere. Like what is going on? And the fact that it also got leaked, it got leaked. So somehow, somewhere, I don't know who, but inside the organization, they could have easily told them, guys, you know, we're still on air here. Like, you know, they've got earpieces, bro. Like, we know how it works in the news.
Yeah.
Earpieces. Guys, chill out. You know, you're still on it. We're still on air. But no one said anything. And then on top of that, it then got leaked.
As I was speaking to you, Babs, like, I think this whole situation, like, media is losing a lot of credibility. And, like, we're talking about, like, the stats in the States where Joe Rogan's actually, like, way more watched than, like, mainstream media outlets. So I think, people are changing who they listen to. So like quick plug for No Boundaries. If if you want
Yeah.
to go for it.
Yeah,
I think that's
100%.
heavy right here. I mean, we're only speaking facts here on No Boundaries, baby. Just read a couple extra articles just then. So there's definitely some stuff circulating. So let's just hope for, Novak's sake, or for anyone that could potentially be next in that regard. Let's hope that something is done in that sense, huh? But like a little bit on just like, for example, some articles that we read today. Nick and I kind of were pretty deep in some articles just across Novak, tennis, even like the vaccination with Pfizer, for example. We read that the Pfizer CEO, has been fairly outspoken lately across some of the media outlets and, articles that I read, like I was saying, Frawls. He basically came out saying that the 2 doses, they're not actually enough for Omicron. And I just think that, like, similar to before, I was kind of saying, like, why are we still slating Novak then over being not vaccinated? When the vaccines aren't, actually stopping the transmission as much as we were told. And, for example, we have a 90% vaccination rate, 2 shots in our arms, running around continuing the transmission, yet we're still worried about Novak's transmission. Like, and him being a threat to our society here in Australia. I just think that, it's heavily wrong. It needs to be kind of spoken about. For example, the CEO talking about that. Like, when you ever bring up a vaccination issue with someone, they're like, but are you vaccinated? It's like, but it doesn't actually stop the spread. So,
Bro, my dad is double dosed and he got his booster shot in Moderna, still got Omicron. Like, he's still got Omicron. He's in my rumpus room in Canberra, quarantining, can't even see his wife. Like, he just got his booster, like 2 weeks ago, and now he's got Omicron.
Yeah.
So please tell me, like, how many more boosters are we going to take? Or how many more boosters are we just going to get fed, you know?
Yeah.
Until we just stand up and say what Frawley says. Just get on with it.
Well, it's tough to listen to the Pfizer CEO. Like, obviously, he's got a financial interest in the situation. Like, I mean,
they should be
it's a bit of a conflict of interest.
Like, yes,
of course,
you need 3 doses of Pfizer, or you need another dose of Pfizer. Like, he's saying, like, it doesn't even fucking work. Like, it doesn't even, like, there's no guarantee. Like,
he was saying the 4th is what's going to be needed potentially, because I think that the 3rd booster gives you, don't quote exact quote here, guys, but I think it's 75% for the 3rd booster, and then after that, the 4th will be the one that gives you the immunity for Omicron.
And then you take 5, and then you grow a fucking eye here. Yeah? Like, I'm just walking around.
But like, a lot of us have had it. Like, I've had it. Keeks has got it now. Like, it's
don't get me wrong, it's fucked me around a little bit. Like, it's fucked me around, bro. I can't breathe. I'm like, I feel like I'm smoking like 8 packs a day, bro.
Yeah. Where do you kind of see, the future moving forward with vaccines? Like, is that really like what our future kind of looks like from now? Like, new booster every variant, and if you don't get the booster, you don't have rights to go to a restaurant or go to the cinemas with your family. Is that really where the world's kind of heading to? Worries me, scares me. We were talking about it today, Kigs, and I was generally like, after reading the article from the CEO of Pfizer, I was like thinking to myself, is this really where we're headed? And we're accepting it and openly being like, yes, give me the booster. I need it. I don't know. I just don't know if that's okay. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I don't have an answer for that, man. I don't have an answer. I don't know. The general population, I think, obviously live and die by the boosters and vaccinations and stuff. So I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say. I know, like, older generation, like my parents and stuff, they are big believers in vaccinations and boosters and babs. I'm sure your parents are as well, right?
Yeah, heavily.
Even my brother, for instance, big on getting vaccinated and almost believing in the fairy tale that our health departments and all those, they want the best for us. If you want to believe in that, that's what you want to believe in. That's fine too. But I don't know how much more of this I can take. I personally can take.
Yeah, it's kind of like, who's benefiting at this point? Because I certainly don't feel like it's us as a society benefiting in any way. I don't think so. Like with the boosters, if the transmission rates aren't really being held, then they need to actually work on
Like, who are these boosters and stuff really helping? Like, who they're really helping, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely a discussion that needs to happen, I think, for sure.
But like Omicron, like the stats are that the death rate's so low, like, and it's spreading like crazy. So this is the whole point, right, of the lockdowns initially. You know, they said everyone's going to get vaxxed.
What does death rate low mean? Like, for instance, if 1% of people die, but if it was someone close to me, it's still an issue. Like, the death rate low or high, or it's if people are dying, one person dies from it. Like, we can't just be the death rate's so low. Like, there's people that have
people
like,
would
for
die
instance,
from
an
the
NBA
flu,
player has lost his. I know, but like, that's what obviously the media has put light upon this, you know, for so long now. But I'm just like. It's just crazy, man. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
The people just got to stop being puppets and wake up a little bit.
Yeah, it would have been a good opportunity for the government if they cared about our health to like plug
but
exercise,
they don't care
healthy
about our
eating, no smoking, no drinking.
Let's go exercise.
I mean,
that'd be nice.
The mental health repercussions from all this would be insane. Like, we've got so many people, businesses going under, probably committing suicide. Like, there's definitely a cost to all this, I think. Like, yeah, okay, you're saving lives maybe in one sense, but in another, you're not. Like,
that's
you got to weigh that up.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, I went to get a haircut like a couple of weeks ago, and the barber that I had was sharing some pretty deep stuff with me. And, you know, he lost a couple of friends during the second big lockdown in Victoria. And, you know, to suicide based off of just the mental toll that it took. Obviously, not just him. There's so many others. I feel like that's just not spoken enough about, and not enough light is shed on it. And it's definitely a growing issue that if we were to go back into another lockdown or something like that over a new wave or something like, man, like are we still just not going to talk about like the mental health, you know, side effects from the way that we've kind of had things going?
That's why it's so important for us to continue to push and make it aware. Like, the media's fucked, man. Like, they're never like, yeah, you get the call. Like, I get a call every day because I'm in isolation of like, how are you doing, Nick? Like, how's everything going with you, you know, with you and stuff? I guess that's their attempt of, you know, helping with the aspect of isolating or, you know, not going to work or something. But
yeah,
Frawl said it, like, fuck, where's the media shining light on good, just active and healthy lifestyle? Like, when's the last time anyone turned on the TV and actually just seen like a nice positive ad on how to maybe avoid feeling like shit every day you wake up?
No.
You know what I mean?
I know there's
like, you've never seen it. You never, big companies, but like, we all need to keep pushing and making it aware. Like, it's a genuine thing, bro. Like, it's a genuine fucking issue.
I don't think
like people concerned with fucking COVID and stuff, but like, they don't even eat right. Like, they don't even eat right. They don't have a good diet. They don't even act. They don't even go for a walk. They don't even get fresh air. Like, it's like, okay, well, let's do these things first.
But then they'll be worried about, like, if you don't have 2 shots in your arm, you know, otherwise you're not healthy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just ludicrous, isn't it? Ludicrous when you think about it. But obviously, I think the big thing here, moving outside of that, is just like, obviously, with Novak's, I guess it's his last stand, isn't it? In a sense, coming up. Have they announced a date for it? I didn't see that in the article.
What, the deportation? Because like, his lawyers are trying to fight it now.
But no, so they're going to appeal
tomorrow.
They're going to appeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're asking for as soon as possible.
Okay, so
obviously they're under time
they'll
pressure.
go back to court. I think this will be ongoing during the Australian Open.
But it can't.
I think he'll play.
Yeah, it can't. It's going to be done before.
But the match is on Monday, so it's not something that they can have dragging on. Similar to what we were saying before, like, it needs to stop. Like,
here's my call. I reckon that he'll be playing the Oz Open while this is all happening still.
I'd really pray that's not happening. I really pray that doesn't happen. I mean, for Novak's sake, I just want it resolved for him. Like I said, I'm not pro Novak or, you know, against Novak, but I lean more now towards being let him play. Like, let him play. Is, you know, he's not a criminal.
I'm definitely with him. Yeah. I mean, and I know this is I'm probably gonna cop a lot of flack for it, but I've always stood up for the people, and I think that I've, you know, I'm vaccinated, by the way, like, and all that type of stuff. But this is not right. Like, I don't necessarily I stand with Novak, but like I'm supporting him, and I really hope he does play. That's what
I stand on the side of like, we don't treat humans like this that are good people. Like, I just think that that's a little bit like bro, he's got no priors, man. Like, as far as anyone can tell, he's a law-abiding, good citizen of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who
I agree.
leads, for charities or, donate. Like, what was the thing we read before the other day, Fralls, on Twitter? Remember that thing? It was like, very loosely, it was like, he's donated money to so many charities. He's
done a lot.
He's flown
He's done a lot
of things
around the world. He's
yeah.
Visited all these different.
Well, he gave money for the bushfires in Australia.
Yeah, he gave money with all the rally for relief that Nick was a part of. Obviously, many other top players were a part of, which was just fantastic. I think all roads lead to him being a pretty good guy. Why are we now having headlines of he may face jail time? I just think that's ridiculous. And we just hope that obviously doesn't continue. But boys, I think that is a fair episode in itself right there. We're losing Kiggs a little bit on his phone. He's just gone straight to
No, I'm just drawing, bro. I'm just drawing. I'm just drawing shit here, bro. Like,
he's gone straight to the Instagram reels. He's looking at Bron dunking all over people, just owning Paul Pierce.
Fuck, man. Oh, shout out the Memphis Grizzlies, though.
Shout out Desmond Bain. We follow Desmond Bain today. Who else we follow, Kiggs? Get him on the pod. Guys, honestly, make sure you keep supporting the podcast across the the platforms, YouTube. Keep subbing, guys. Trying to get the subs as high as we can. Obviously, make sure you give it a like on the YouTube. Give us the 5 stars. I mean, we are the #1 podcast in the world, baby. So give us those 5 stars. Support us like you mean it. And we appreciate all the support that we've been kind of receiving through Instagram and the various platforms. We'll see you in the next episode, guys. Peace out, baby.